One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm standing at the crossroads. I'm feeling like a lost soul. Don't know where I wanna go, but all I know is I wanna be free. They're telling me to let it be, but that just ain't in me, no. Jealousy and envy, but all I see is I wanna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Don't let it get the most of me. Eventually, I'm gonna be free. See everything I wanna be, exactly what I'm gonna be. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna be free. Let me be free. One day I'm gonna be free. Mentally and physically, emotionally and spiritually. Yeah. One day I'm gonna be free. I told them take their aim off me. Stop trying to get a name off me. If they would just let me be, I'm gonna be free. I told them take them chains off me and throw away the locks and keys. If they would just let me be, eventually I'm gonna be free.
They're back.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? Another week done went by and we back again for another episode of the Dominant Effect. I'm Archbishop. We got Mike Ball and we got Aaron Olinger. And what's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up? What's up? What up, though?
Hey.
Well, you know, we got a pretty good show going on. But before we start, like always, let's see what everybody done for the week. So, what's up with you, Aaron? How was your week, brother?
Oh, it's been pretty good. I've got a major gun show this weekend. I'm rolling the dice. I don't care what the economy says. I think there's going to be buyers out there. So I spent everything I had on merchandise, and it's been coming in since Friday. Got another big order today. Got my last order coming in tomorrow. I can't wait for the weekend. And my competitors at the gun show, they better come loaded for bear, because otherwise I'm going to be blowing smoke on them this weekend.
Oh, shit.
So I'll see you there.
Nice. Heck yeah, man. So that's this weekend that you're going to do the show?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 5 Saturday, 9 to 4 Sunday. We're going to be at the Butler County Fairgrounds, which is Hamilton, Ohio.
Nice. Dang, man. That's going to be awesome. Make sure you got to take some video and picture, man. For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But For me, nothing that exciting. We got Aaron over here, showing how it's really done over here in business. That's great. For me, it's been kind of like just a media week. Just even though it's kind of weird, we do these shows every Wednesday, right? Every Wednesday, and it seems like it just goes like that, and it blows my mind. I'm like, I can't even believe it's Sunday or Wednesday again. It's like it comes by so quick. But yeah, it's been a lot of just media stuff. I mean, I think that you guys know that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it's like minute by minute right now, man. So I'm just got an eye for that kind of stuff right now. How about you, AB?
Work as always. I mean, it's like that's all I get done. But I did take a little time off this weekend. I went to Daytona for Bike Week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
that must have been fun.
Yeah, I was down there when all the BS was going on, but I wasn't on that side. I was over on the other side, so I heard about it, but I didn't. I wasn't nowhere around it. So,
right.
But it was. I mean, it was a good time. I mean, got to hang out a little bit, and I was actually surprised how many people come walking up to me.
Oh wow! Yeah, I
would
imagine.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, people just come walking up to me and was like, "Hey, you AB, right?" And I'm like,
yeah, straight up.
Yeah, so it was cool. You know what I mean? I took well, I didn't take pictures, but they took pictures.
Oh yeah, for sure. Will you take this picture for us?
Right. Yep. Right. Yeah, but it was cool though. You know what I mean? You got to hang out a little bit and ride around a little bit. You know what I mean? I hadn't been on the bike for a minute, so because I've been doing everything else. So it gave me a chance to get out there and ride a little bit and move around. So yeah, it was a good time. It was a real good time.
That's good, man. Hopefully you didn't spend so much money, because I know those places rally all those type of things, man. It seems like you dump your wallet when you go to these things.
You know what? I was clenching for real.
Yeah.
I did not spend a whole lot of money.
That's good.
I didn't end up spending the night. I went there for the day, hung out, came on back home. Because they had the hotel rooms there was like over $300 a night.
Yeah.
They were they had people that had pitched up tents in yards and was renting them out for $100 a night.
Renting the space.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they was doing all that. I did see one spot where it was a guy it was a pizza spot. And for a regular pepperoni pizza, they was charging $50.
Whoa, $50 for a pepperoni pizza.
$50 for a pepperoni pizza.
Is this thing dipped in gold or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is happening?
I don't know. I didn't try it. I didn't want none. I ain't want no parts of it. So
hell no, not for a pizza.
I didn't want no $50 heartburn off of that. So I was good. But so we're gonna jump into this story now. We're gonna, like I said, it's a lot of moving parts to this. So we're gonna be bouncing around a little bit everywhere. So, of course, everybody knows for the past 2 days, our stock market's been hit. Yesterday was over 500. All the monetary gain that the stocks had built up since Trump was elected was wiped out, which was almost $3 trillion. Almost they got wiped out, and now it's not really on the incline. It's kind of, so we don't know what's going to go on tomorrow or whatever. But a lot of the economists are talking about it was due to the tariffs, whether they was going in, or you take it back, and put it back on, and took it back. And you got other countries that done raised tariffs on different stuff, which is overall is going to affect everybody that we speak to. So we're gonna dive into a couple different areas of it, and then at the end we're gonna have Aaron. He got some stuff that he wants to he wants to talk about more on the preparation side of it. You know, I mean, what is it that you need to do from this point, to kind of give somebody some idea as to what's going on. But I was thinking about this earlier today, and a lot of the stuff that we talk about, we've kind of called this stuff months ahead of time. We've done different shows talking about different stuff, and a lot of the stuff that's going on now is stuff that we actually talked about 6, 7, 8 months ago. And in all those shows, we were basically telling people to get ready, get prepared for this, get this in order, do this, do that. And I know I've heard from some people that said that they have been actually preparation and getting stuff together. And I know a lot of people who has just been sitting, not doing nothing. You know what I mean? And it kind of reminded me of, you ever been out and you seen like a storm coming, and you see that it's pitch black up ahead of you, winds blowing, everything. You see the rain a mile away, and you see it, but everybody else is just kind of moving around, dealing with life, kids, investments, where they going to eat at, whatever. But they're not paying attention to the storm that's coming, not knowing that that storm that's coming could have some catastrophic effects that could affect you. That was one of the things that I was thinking about today, because it's like, we keep talking about this stuff and you see it. We're not just talking about it. You see it on the news too, the watered down version, but you do see it. And it's like a lot of people really not paying attention to it. I was talking to a guy today, and the only thing that he was worried about was whether or not the tax bill was going to get voted on, so that way he could get his $5,000 check. And I asked him, well, what's the point in getting a $5,000 check if the $5,000 ain't worth shit? He's like, well, what do you mean? So then I had to go through and explain to him what I meant by it, and I told him that $5,000 is only worth $5,000 here. It ain't worth that anywhere else you're going to. And here's the reason why it's not worth that. And it's steady declining, because right now we still, even though the US dollar is the most prevalent currency in the world, it's still not backed under anything.
You're right.
So every time gold prices go up, dollar prices go down, because it's not backed under nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think, with all the stuff that's going on today, that instead of worrying about, layoffs and cuts and program deletions and stuff like that you would worry about primarily how to get this money back on track. It ain't about giving the money away. It's about securing the money to where it's actually worth something. That's what we're missing here. I was watching a news thing on CNBC, and Wall Street actually named this that's going on, that they called it Trump session.
Oh shit!
And they said that this is the first time in our lifetime that they have ever named a recession after a president.
Damn.
And it said it is usually not clear, and it's not usually a straight line of blame, because of presidential policies, recession, stuff like that. It's a lot of stuff that goes into it that actually makes this recession. But they're saying all the works that's going on now is basically because of him. So he's the first president that ever had a actual recession named after him, which I find crazy, and But what I didn't know was that they said that um, um, that under Bush and Reagan, well, both Bushes, Bush and Bush Light, and Reagan, they all fail at the end of their terms. They all had recessions at the end, even Trump when he was out. And it said that the Democrats came in, they, you know how they kind of flip flops out. So like it's always one that either catches the recession, and it's one that gets it. You know what I mean? As they flip flop out. But they said that when he came in, that no matter, you know, whether they was talking about the economy actually going down, and yes, there was bad parts of the economy, you know what I mean, when he got elected, but they said that it was actually the highest performing economy in history, including the stock market. Now, just going by them, I'm not no economist, so I can't say that. I'm going by what they're saying by the numbers. But whether it was or it's not, we in the shit now. So with the tariffs going on in Canada, because you know that Mr. Ford in Canada dropped a 25% tariff on the electric power. That covered was it Michigan, Minnesota, New York, and of course, you know, Wisconsin is going to be involved in that as well because it's in the mix. So it's going to be basically, if you average that out, it's like an extra little over $100 per person, but it equaled out to be $400,000 a day that Canada gets off of this 25% tariff that they put on. Now, to counter that, then the U.S. put a 50% tariff on steel, aluminum that's coming in from there. So it's kind of like this back and forth game that's going on. But with this back and forth game that they're playing, the only people that's suffering out of that, those going to end up suffering out of that, it's going to be us, because these are the products that we use. You know what I mean? What if they shut the power off in those states? What happens? You know what I mean? Is there any repercussion for that? You know what I mean? Are you going with? Do you think they actually would do it? You know what I mean? Or is this just a money grab? You know. So these are some of the questions we're gonna ask. So I'm gonna let Aaron go first, because I see him over there. He kind of smiling, grinning a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he's in her process and everything that's going on. So I'm gonna let you.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you hit first.
Okay. Everybody's making it seem like the tariffs is a bad deal. I'm going to start off with Canada, for example. Yeah, we put a 50% tariff on their metals. Are people aware that the tariffs that they have on us is a sliding scale? They got 15% on certain things, and it goes all the way up to 241% tariff on our dairy products that come from America. 241%. So Trump is talking about putting a 250% tariff on their dairy products coming into the United States, a reciprocal tariff. And that's the way it should be, because I know from the Reagan era, when the tariffs went flying around on Russia and things, I was out in the street for 3 years. The first stock market crash that happened, that was over 1,000 points. That's 1 full year of retained earnings for American corporations that just went up in smoke. I was out in the street. Now, in America, we have unemployment. You get it for a year. It's 80% of your income. Canada has unemployment insurance, but they only get 55% of their wages. If we had to go out into the street for a year, Can Americans survive on 80% of their income? Can the Canadians survive on half their income? What's your bill structure like? You win tariff wars through attrition. You outlast one another. So can they do that? They're talking about they're going to impose 20 billion in tariffs on America. We can match it. And when your population goes out into the street, how long can they last? If they want to turn off the power to New York, Michigan, and Minnesota, turn it off. We'll build either a nuclear power plant or we'll build a coal-fired plant. Coal-fired would be cheaper. And all those workers that you had supplying that energy that we will no longer need will be an unemployment line, being a burden on your system that we already supplement with money for economic aid. So, and if you don't want to sell us oil, that's fine. We'll buy from Venezuela. Your oil industry will collapse. You want to get into a war with us? Bring it. Bring it on, because we can take it. We're tough. And when it comes down to the money, we'll see who can outlast who. I mean, Bishop, do you mind putting that picture up on the screen that I sent you earlier?
Which
No,
one?
not
That
that
one
one.
there?
That one. Yeah. These are the 50 countries that claim they have the best quality of life. And I want you to look at number 22. That's the United States. All these other countries are bragging that their people live a higher standard of living than the United States. And if you notice, the majority of those countries is a part of NATO. So if they're balling like that, what do they need our aid for? Why are we paying $860 million to fund them and provide them with arms and military when all Trump is asking them to do is put in 5 cents of every dollar that they take in to cover their own military? I mean, that's 5 cents on the dollar is nothing. But they don't want to do that. They're spending their money living their best life, and American taxpayer over here struggling. I mean, in 2022, 70% of the Americans didn't have $1,000 in emergency savings in case something come up. In 2025, 68% of Americans don't have $500 in savings. We're paying so much in taxes, we can't save no money. We're financing 175 nations of 188 nations of the world with money. If you can put 241% tariff tax on our dairy products, man, that's obscene. And then you get mad if we want to put 15% on you. No, we need reciprocal tariffs. We need to match dollar for dollar on all these people. And when we do, you watch how fast they come back to the table, because we spend money over here and they know it. Everybody wants access to our markets. They need access to our markets. They need us buying their products. If we go somewhere else, their industry almost collapses. They're going to have to find somebody else to buy it, and somebody else ain't going to give them the same price that we're giving them. They're our neighbors, so we try to give. But it don't have to be that way. Somebody else, China and them, is going to try to take them to the cleaners. And then what China's doing to us in trade is obscene. And then they put another 10% tariff on soybeans, pork, and beef today, 15% on chicken, wheat, and corn. You know what? You got 1.5 or 2.5 billion people you got to feed on a daily basis. And those people have a powerful need to eat at least 2 or 3 times a day. How about we stop sending you food? How long will you last? I mean, these people think that they got something all over on us. That's a lot of people at the feed. I mean, China almost went to war with Vietnam a year ago because Vietnam wouldn't sell rice to them. They was trying to keep the rice for their own people, and they threatened military action against them if they didn't sell them rice. So if they need to eat that daggone bad, and you're going to put tariffs on the food that we're sending over there, and you know what those tariffs do? It makes the stuff more expensive for their people to buy. People are talking about it's going to be more expensive on us. Oh, do they live on the same standard of living we do? So you want to put all these tariffs on us? you're killing your own damn people. And then when we put ours back on you and we go somewhere else for those products that we're going to buy, you're screwed. Now, when we put that tariff on Canada today, they decided to come to negotiating table. Mexico decided to come to negotiating table. They want to talk and renegotiate the deals, which will be better for us. Less money that we have to pay out. Is there going to be pain in the beginning with higher prices? Yeah, you can expect that. We done it under Reagan. I've seen this happen 3 times. I mean, well, one time I didn't. Under Hoover, we had a market crash, which created the Great Depression. Under Nixon, when the markets crashed, we went off the gold standard and just started printing money, which was fiscal irresponsible. And then under Bush, the economy collapsed, which led us into quantitative easing, QE1, QE2, QE3. That was used to bail out the banks under Obama because everything had fallen. Under quantitative easing, that's the introduction of new money into the money supply by the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve. It creates inflation. That's what started driving prices up. Now, the Fed has done that QE 4 times since 2009. 4 times. That means that our economy has nearly failed 4 times since 2009 because those that we're voting into position to be good stewards and run this country is filling their own pockets, and the poor people and the middle class is taking it on the chin. When they done QE1, it was 600 billion in mortgage-backed securities. That was in 2008 because the mortgage and the banks were ruled too big to fail. That was a clever term they came out with. Keep in mind, they bailed out the auto industry, which I was a member of, because that was considered too big to fail. QE2, 2010, business employment and output was below the target range. In order to get the economy going, people's got to be working. You can't have high unemployment. QE3 occurred in 2012. They sold short-term treasury bonds and bought long-term bonds. So the government was selling short-term treasuries and the Federal Reserve was buying our long-term bonds. Now keep in mind that the Federal Reserve is the buyer of last resort. If we cannot get China, Saudi Arabia, any of these countries to buy our treasury bonds because they said, oh, that's crap what y'all doing, issuing over there, then the Federal Reserve has to buy it. They're the buyer of last resort. Every time they buy, we go deeper in debt. We were digging a hole for ourselves, but no president wants their administration to look bad. This stuff has been going on since Nixon, them mismanaging money. Under Reagan, they started something called the Plunge Protection Team. It was put into effect by Executive Order 12631. In 1988, it was put into effect in 1988 by Reagan. The president's working group, it was the president's working group on financial markets. And they advised the president during economic and stock market turbulence. And we had a lot of it back then. Now, what they're doing, they're actively intervening to prop up stock prices, and they're colluding with banks to rig the markets. That's illegal. You cannot manipulate the stock market. That's an illegal thing. You go to jail for that. But this group here, and they got money that's being backed, I guess, by the Federal Reserve. They're getting their money from somewhere. If they see the stock market going down too far, they'll step in and they will buy investments, which they're not supposed to be able to do, to make the market look like it's coming back. That's stock market manipulation. Since Nixon has been in office and we went off the gold standard, our whole economy has been a Ponzi scheme. We've been borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, basically. You know, our economy has become so distorted at the expense of the poor and middle class because we keep having to pay it. At one time, one person working in our economy could support a family of 4. One person, even a family of 5. Today, you need two people working, and one of them's got to have a side hustle to be able to make it. That's how bad and how delusional it is. So when someone says that Biden's economy was the greatest ever was, there was no president that borrowed more money than he did. He kept raising the debt limit every 3 months. He was raising the debt limit, which that's like you raising the debt limit on your credit card. And I got this new surplus of funds. Let me spend this. Then he was having the Federal Reserve print money out his butt, and we're talking billions, trillions of dollars, which that's a loan to the American government. I got a new surplus of cash. Let's spend it. We're doing well. We're digging a hole for ourselves. Then, let me see. He's raising that, and then we're borrowing money from other nations just to pay the interest rate on the national debt. We're borrowing money to make the interest payment. The national debt payment is so high, I think it's $1 trillion right now, just the interest payment, that it exceeds the money that we spend on our national defense. That's how bad it is. Oh, wow. Economy's booming. We're being lied to, people. And the poor people and the middle class is having to keep paying higher taxes. You saw the chart. All these countries of NATO are claiming they're living better than us, and we're financing them. Make this make sense to me. Even Canada's up there. Make this make sense. Our leadership has failed to provide us with good stewardship and to lead the American people forward. They dug a hole so deep that now we can't kick the can down the hill no further. We got to trim the fat here inside the United States. We got to cut back on things. We got to run slim and lean. And then we got to renegotiate every deal that we've got with these foreign countries and let them know that we're called Uncle Sam. We're not Uncle Sucker no more. So I'm going to stop there for right now.
He said, right now, I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah, Prakash, your ass needs some water.
Grab some water, homie.
I'll take a drink.
Take a drink. Yeah, that was good. Real quick on that, I'll just say, regards to tariffs, especially with what's happening, with Trump in this specific case, I would say, listen, Trump, these tariffs are a necessary evil in a free trade, to be able to have some sort of, because you're not only selling these products to Americans, let's say, these companies they don't care like that. They are globalists. And with free market trade, stuff like that, this is our one way of being able to counter that. But I would say the way that it's been happening, it's been very volatile, right? It's unfortunate that it has been volatile, but sometimes you do need a couple of things like that to have happen. But I'm saying that is probably not a good thing that's happened to our economy. And it's definitely the reason why the stocks have, the economy itself has definitely plummeted from it. Now, with regards to the electricity thing, I'm going to be honest and blunt with it, right? I would think that we're total retards for not, if we're not building a grid right now or however we need to be able to power ourselves, if we're not doing that shit right now, we're dumb. What are we doing? We should be building that shit right now. If that shit is even going to be used against us, okay, cool. Go ahead and do go ahead and do that shit and play around with that idea for the next couple of months or whatever you're going to do. We're just going to start building our own shit. And I don't know why we don't do it, but that's to summarize that stuff.
Well, with the grid, I agree. That should have been done a long time ago. And that's not the first time that's been talked about. I told you before, I used to work for a company that we used to work on all the power lines around the country. And that was one of the biggest complaints, is that why did we have that particular grid in Canada? It had always been talked about, but that with all the money that the U.S. say that we have, our overall infrastructure is not the way it should be.
I agree.
There's a lot of gaps. And they've known this for a number of years, that this stuff had to be fixed. And they never did, because it was always something else to do. Now, to answer the question that Aaron was talking about was, we sitting at number 22 and want to know why come, everybody else living their best life. Well, probably because we've walked around for all this time trying to be the boss. And when you the boss, then you do boss shit. And you've been running around here spreading money out to each and every country that there is. Like I said, it's 180 countries, and we supplied 175 of them. We're doing that for various reasons, because you want to run the roost. In order for you to run the roost, then you got to pay your share. And that's what they've been doing. And they've been doing it for umpteen damn years, ever since they became an actual force in this world. When they became the dominant, then you got to do boss shit. And they've been doing that. And they've been making deals. But one thing about these tariffs, though, and you can go back and forth with this, is that there's no win when it comes to these tariffs. And the reason why there's no win is because these ones that's going back and forth, like, okay, I'm gonna put 25 here. Okay, well, fuck it, I'm gonna put 50 here, and then I'm gonna put another 10 on this. I'm gonna put another 10 on these. These are people that got money that'll be able to make it through that shit. Not the people that's actually buying this stuff. That's where the problem's going to fall at. Now let's just take this for example. Let's just say, for instance, that Canada says, well, you know what? I'm not going to deal. And then they get with Mexico, and Mexico decides, the president there, she decides, you know what? I'm not going to deal either. Let's just me and you just merge together, and we do our own little, Pan-American trade corridor, and we just go back and forth between each other, and we weed the U.S. out. Okay, so what happens? So first thing, that you cut off the Northeast electric grid, which would also, that's Michigan, New York, Wisconsin will be involved in that, Minnesota. And then say, okay, well, then we're not going to get the oil from them as well. So that's another 4 million barrels a day that you're not going to get, as well as the uranium, the potash, cobalt, and the other minerals that they've been getting from Canada. So your gas would go up probably about 70 cents average. So then Mexico. So then that freezes all the car parts, because of course they, GM and all of them, they don't move their factories to Mexico because it was cheaper. So the prices of the cars going to go through the ceiling. Your fresh produce, all that's basically gone. The 1.2 million barrels of oil that you get from there, that's gone. So your gas will go up probably about $1 off of that. Now you're choking at both ends. Okay, which the total will be about $400 billion a year. Now, if you have the income, if you want these rich fucks that they got money, and you be like, okay, I'm not worried about that. That's $400 billion. But let's think about California. There's gas now already, I remember when Mike was over, gas was like $5-6 a damn gallon.
Yep, it was almost $7.
You know what I mean?
When I left.
So you add another $1.70 to it. So you got gas $8 a gallon. Not getting the produce, not getting the uranium, not getting the potash, not getting the nickel, not getting all the other shit that you're getting, not getting all the fresh fruits and produce and all that. Now we can sit here and say, like I told you both before, we can sit here and say that the U.S. is the greatest country in the world, and we can do this. But right now, March 12th, 2025, where it ends with everybody, where it ends with our own fucking friends.
Sure.
So you can easily, think about it, $400 billion right there. You can easily be crushed. Now, you got China on top of that. Now, let's say that took place, and now you got China, because China, they going after the farmers. And the reason why they going after the farmers is because the American commerce, agriculture is the biggest. That's one of the biggest economic weapons that we have. You got 150 billion in agriculture each year, and China is the biggest buyer of it. Now, they're talking about that they're going to close the door on that. So, is that just the first move that they're going to do, or is this like the precursors to the actual trade war that's actually going to go on? But you ask what's the big deal in that? Okay, so the U.S. basically feeds the world. We send food all across the continent, all across in every country of this world. The U.S. has sent some kind of food there. But 20% of that, of the American crops, bounces around too. So when you hit them farmers, what happens then? When them farmers start losing, where they're not getting their money, which means they're not growing, which means they're losing their farms. What happens then? That shit shuts down. You know what I mean? So all of this is a money thing, because with the money, you can do a lot. But when you put a strangle on that to where these farmers ain't making that money like they normally would, then they're not able to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So you're taking another, so you're taking another hit on top of that. You know what I mean? So now you can say, well, okay, well, we got enough stuff here in America. We can everybody just buy American and we'll be fine. You can do that. But it's a lot of stuff that we get that doesn't come from here. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure everybody orders shit online all the time. And where's it come from? China. That's where about 80% of all your shit coming from.
No kidding.
You know what I mean? So it's like, we can say, yeah, we can hold out on this. But if you ain't prepared to hold out on that, it ain't no way. You have civil unrest here within a week if all that went on. You not agree? Not agree there?
No, I can't agree with you on that, man. And the reason for it, and I'm gonna use farming as an example right now, and we've been operating on this for a couple decades now. We have a $49 billion deficit on our agricultural products every year. Our farmers, our mom and pop farms, are surviving on bare margins, and the corporations are coming in buying up the farmland because they're losing it. How can we have negative $49 billion a year when we're feeding the world? That contract needs to be renegotiated with every country that's out there. Our farmers should not be losing money. They should be gaining money, knowing that we feed the world. And again, I don't know too many countries that's more richer in natural resources than the United States. So if China don't want to buy our food, that's fine. Let them starve. Let them starve, because there's other countries that will. The reason why China is the largest buyer is because they're outbidding everyone. And then the second largest buyer is Japan. They're outbidding everybody in the food market for our products because they know it's better quality meat. It's more marbled. It's just better quality products. They don't have to worry about salmonella, listeria, and E. coli being in it. And then the American public is getting to eat the stuff from Mexico, Argentina, and different places that's coming in here with all kinds of problems on it. I mean, you got food recalls every week anymore because of the crap. Even the salmon coming in here from overseas got worms in it, from what I've been seeing. I mean, this is ridiculous. We could feed our own people and we'd be much healthier than selling it to China and letting them do it. But they're bidding the highest for it. That's the reason why they're the one that's getting it. But our farmers are taking it on the chin year after year, $49 billion. And what is China doing? They're coming in here buying up farmland. They're buying it up. And then the billionaires is buying it up because they see that food is going to be the future. And they're jumping in now So when the time comes, they're just going to reap rewards. Canada should not be able to buy our lumber here in the United States, buy land inside the United States. Our enemy nations like China, Russia, anybody else should not be able to come in here and buy land. That should be illegal. So this all needs to be changed. This system is broken, and it needs to be changed. And there's going to be pain before it gets better. And people need to adjust to that concept. And when this comes out, the farmers are going to be better off, and they won't be looking at negative 49 billion a year on their stuff. Yeah, when we renegotiate these deals. That's the only reason why I can't agree.
Them farmers ain't gonna have shit if trying to cut their if China cut their damn heels with them. They ain't gonna have shit. They complaining now because they didn't get their little USAID money. They were pitching a fit. Now
other countries will buy the product. Other countries will buy it. China's outbidding them. That's the reason why the other countries aren't getting a chance to go after it.
Okay. Now, a lot of this. Okay, so let me go back here. So let's just take what you just said there. Now let's just say like the average cattle farm, right? So they take the cattle, sell it to China, right? They send the cows to China, butcher them, and then sell the shit back to you and bring it right back here. Now, what's the point in that? Why can't you just do it here? You know what I mean? Now, with the land being brought up by the Chinese, the Japanese, and all that, the government allows it. Now, if you go to China and you try to buy some shit in China, you can't buy nothing if you're not a citizen there. You can't buy nothing in Japan if you're not a citizen there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of countries that if you go trying to buy land, hell no. If you don't live here, you ain't getting it.
They'll tell you right off.
Right. But we do it. Hell, we just offering a damn gold card. Pay you a little $5 million and you get automatic citizenship, and you don't got to pay taxes on any money that you made from overseas. That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So it's not like this ain't something that we as regular taxpayers, I mean, we can sit here and talk about it and bitch about it. But they ain't doing nothing about it. That's the problem. I mean, the biggest problem is it's not just the fact that you got an economic problem. The problem is that you got people that's in these offices that we put in these fucking seats, hoping that they go and do the right thing, and they get there and they get their pockets greased and they don't do shit. And then, just like right now, everything's going to shit. These people, not just Democrats, but Republicans and all of them, they asking to sit down with these with these congressional members so you can explain to me what the hell going on and what are they doing? Staying away. Or they'll go, and then once they hear something that they don't like, they get up and walk off. You know what I mean? You're not doing your job. You're not doing your job.
That's right. That's right.
Like I was telling you earlier, they just did something here where they were actually talking about, Trump called this a national emergency. And then you turn around and you had Congress was like, okay, this isn't a national emergency. We can fix this. Let's get this off. But you had to have a vote in order to do that. So they put a vote up and they seconded the vote. And then in 15 days, you come back and you have a vote dealing with this. Well, Congress decide because they have more members. So what did they do? They put a clause in to where the 119th Congress, which we're in right now, they'll never hit the 15th day because they ruled the whole year as one day.
Wow.
So then they never hit 15 days to where they can fucking vote. Just because some of these quote, quote, politicians, some of these people that's supposed to be representing you don't got the fucking balls to do something about some of this shit that's going on.
I agree.
And they rather see you fucking suffer than to go over here and tell a motherfucker, man, stop this shit that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
That's very true. Right.
You got people sitting right there in Congress right now, House and Senate, that don't got the nuts to go up there and say this is wrong. The only ones that's actually saying something is the courts, because won't nobody else say shit. That's the only ones that's actually trying to follow the law, is the courts, because the Senate and the House ain't doing shit. They need to vote them all out and start all over, all of them, because they ain't doing shit, and they ain't gonna do shit because they scared. And the reason why they scared is because they ain't gonna say shit, because they don't want the orange man to say something about them, and then they not get reelected, and then they gonna lose their little money. Oh shit! That's what this is about. And in the meantime, everybody else is gonna suffer. You going, you, me, and him, and everybody that's watching. Your ass is gonna suffer because of some bullshit that some rich bureaucrats done put in play, and they gonna sit back fine, and you gonna be fucked up. That's the truth. So we got the so we got so you got all three of these. Okay. Now, being the fact that we done talked about what's actually going on, and I'm gonna let you do this, Aaron, because I know that this is something that you want to do. We already know what's going on. What is it that we can do to get us as regular people prepared for what's to come? Because if you don't, I mean, if you sit here right now and say that ain't nothing gonna happen, you're a damn fool. And anything that happened from this point on is your damn fault. Period.com. Now, I've been saying this until I'm blue in the face, and I'm black, so that's hard to fucking do. I've been saying it for months. But we're going to do it one more time. So, Aaron, please tell these people what they need to do.
Well, you're right with what you're saying. The poor and middle class is going to take it on the chin. And seeing I'm a budget-minded person, I've got a list of 18 items I'd like to recommend to people. Hopefully, you can put some these practices in place, these techniques, and hopefully they help you to make it through what could be a major trade war, if nothing else with China, if nobody else. Okay, right now, you want to buy before the price hikes. You want to watch the news. You want to hear when the tariffs are going into effect. And if any of those items that you use on a daily basis in your household, the price is going to go up, it will pay for you to go out just before that hike happens and purchase some. I also recommend that you go to the local food pantries. You always have church giving away food and stuff. Swallow your pride, get in line, let them fill up your car with stuff. You're going to get a minimum of $50 in groceries, and it could be as much as $200, $250 in groceries. That's free food that you get, and it saves your money. Money is a limited resource with us. I mean, the average citizen don't have $500 in their checking account. So take advantage of that. This is free. Go and buy in bulk to save money. You go to a regular grocery store, box store, but you can go somewhere else like a Sam's Club or a Costco, and you can buy in bulk, and you come out cheaper that way. Take advantage of that. Though there used to be people doing it. I don't know if they still do it. They call them super couponers. Cut them coupons. Use them. That saves your money. You're saving money. That helps you to be able to stretch a dollar. So start cutting coupons and using them. Find alternative protein sources. If you can't afford to buy meat because meat's going to get high here for a while, know if beans is a good protein source. Know if there's certain plant-based vegetables that is a good protein source. Know if eggs, nuts, where can you get the required protein that you're going to need, and have those alternatives planned into your meals. Then for those who have backyards, consider backyard meat sources, backyard chickens, backyard quail, backyard rabbits. They consume very little in feed and stuff, but they give a great deal in return. So consider that as a possibility. Also consider a backyard garden. And if you live in an apartment, consider a container garden. But tomatoes are probably, some people tell me they're paying $1.50 for a single tomato. You can grow that for free. All you got to do is pay $1.50 or $2 for a box of seeds. Wet them down, let them germinate between some cloth, and then plant them in the dirt. You can have all the tomatoes that you want. Again, saving yourself money. Learn to preserve food. I mean, you can smoke, you can honey glaze, you can jerk meat, you can, you can pickle. There's different forms that you can learn that would help you stretch that garden or stretch that backyard meat or whatever to where you're not throwing away and wasting so much stuff. Then, and some people are going to be hard to do this. Go to the thrift stores to save money. Look for high quality secondhand items. You don't have to buy junky stuff, but go in there and know what you're looking for. If a store is selling it, it's going to be 3 or 4 times higher than what the thrift store is going to sell it for. So take your pride away, go to the thrift stores and start looking to save some money. And if nothing else, you can go on Facebook Marketplace and find secondhand items in good shape. You can go to yard and garage sales and find stuff that probably say the husband died, the wife is selling off the tools and stuff. You can buy a whole tool thing for next to nothing, pennies on the dollar. Look to do that. Shop discount stores like Aldi's, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Again, we got to stretch a dollar. Dollar's finite. You got to stretch that money. So shop at the discount stores. And then next, you want to learn in the big box stores when the sales are. You want to be able to time them out. Like in my area, we have a GFS, which is a Gordon food service. After 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the chickens that they had for $5 or $6, the rotisserie chickens, are $3. So if you come before 3 p.m., you're going to pay $5 or $6. But if you come after 3 p.m., you get 2 of them for the same price. And then how about Sam's Club? They have seasonal clearances, and you could take advantage of that. It could be tools, it could be yardware, it could be clothing, seasonal. They put it on clearance. Take advantage of that. That again saves you money. Shop at the farmers markets. The farmers markets are going to be closer to you. They're going to be in your areas. That food is going to be healthier. It's don't have no bunch of preservatives on it. You're helping to support the farmer. You don't have to claim that money on these income taxes. And the food is just overall healthier. Then rotate cheaper substitutes. Let's say that the tariff comes in and pasta is now going to be higher. Okay. I don't want to buy the pasta because it's too high. Well, can I substitute rice in that same dish? So look for things that you can substitute that will be cheaper that you can still purchase. And then you want to also secure your own supply chain, because the supply chain, when we get into this price war, it's going to be broken. Now, if you made friends with plumbers, electricians, people with skills, if you made friends with farmers, when they get ready to butcher their meat, they might be able to offer you a good deal on half a hog or something. Or you might be able to barter and trade with people. If you got a plumber, auto mechanic, somebody that you can work with, secure your own supply chain. Don't count on the government to give you everything. And then stop making purchases with your credit cards. If you can't pay that balance off each month, stop living on credit. That's what got this country in the position it is today. From Nixon till now, it's been nothing but free credit, free credit. Stop using them credit cards. Start trying to pay them off. Next, save money. Pay yourself first and start putting some money back. And then lastly, put 10 to 20% of the money you save into precious metals. And if you do that, if you go into bad times, you'll have something that's going to go up in value. because here recently gold has outperformed every stock out there, including Nvidia in performance. But gold and silver is a stagnant investment. During good times, it does not make you any money. It's a hedge against hard times and inflation. That's when you want it, and that's when it's going to perform. And it's liquid. You can sell it fast. You can take it to any gold exchange place, any currency exchange. You go anywhere in the world. Gold is gold and silver, silver. That's God's money. So put 10 to 20% into that. But I'm gonna say I'm not an investment counselor, so you don't have to take my word. But do your own research. And if you do those 18 things, you'll come out a whole lot better at the end, because the people at the end that's got money in their pocket can buy stocks and everything that are going to dip down low, and you can come back into the market because you got money in your pocket. You didn't blow it all and you didn't suffer. So know that you're positioning yourself to take advantage of the hard time, and you're going to thrive through it, and you're going to come out at the end. So I'll stop there.
You get it all. Did you want to talk about your bags?
Oh yeah, do you mind putting up picture?
Yeah, there it is.
Yes, I decided. I almost feel like God's put it on my heart. I had done it years ago, where I was building bug out bags and emergency bags and kits. And I decided just this week that I'm going to start building them. I'm going to have them available for purchase April the 5th. I'm going to do a get home bag that you can keep in your car. I'm going to do a 3-day bug out bag, and then I'm going to do a 3-day deluxe bag. It'll be in the price range of 200 to 4 and no, 200 to 500. And I'll have a basic bag that will probably start at 200. And I'll have a price list of items that someone wants theirs customized, that they can tell me what items they want me to add to it. And I'm willing to ship, but I do not ship outside the United States. So the cost of the bag would be, if I have to ship it, will have to include shipping. And my forms of payment I take are Zelle, and I take credit cards, debit cards, and cash. So I'll stop there. And thanks for letting me do that, Bishop.
Oh, no problem. No problem. No problem. I think that well, what's going on right now, like I said, we can't worry about what's going on the outside. We gotta take care of ourselves, because first and foremost, that's because we're gonna be the only ones that's gonna be able to do that. You know, you see a lot of these programs are being shut down. They're firing thousands of people. FEMA ain't operating stuff. I mean, this is stuff that you would normally depend on, but right now they're not doing anything. So we bought that up on the end, because this is just stuff that you can do yourself to make sure that you're okay. I know me and Aaron, we started last week, started buying gold backs. If you don't know what that is, we're gonna do a show once mine coming in the mail, and we're gonna show you exactly what they are, what's the significance of them, and why you should invest in that and have it in your arsenal, because they're good to have. And it's we're kind of gonna go in depth with that, because it's a reason why they're coming back. So we're gonna talk about that as well. But we're gonna close the show for the evening. Like I said, I want to first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out, like always. Appreciate you each and every week for supporting those that donated. I appreciate you. That's what helps, keeps this show going. So hit that button and donate to the show. Hit the thanks button, or hit the join button and get a subscription or whatever, just to that helps us keep this show going. Like I said, this ain't free. It takes a lot to get these shows pushed out every week. So I appreciate the ones who came through and donated for the show. Appreciate you. Like, follow, share, subscribe, pass it on to your friends. Have them check it out. that like button is crucial because it puts it on the right algorithm. Also, the ones after the live show, if you put something in the comments after the live show, that also helps. Put your input on it, what you thought about the show, what you think we need to talk about, whatever. We put our information on the bottom all the time. So if you got a show idea, you got something that you want us to talk about, then shoot me an email or catch me on Facebook Messenger or even the Facebook group, The Dominant Effect. Those of you that's not on there, go on there and sign up. And we have a real good time on there. There's a lot of information that we put on there as well throughout the week. And we're always on there. So if you ever want a question answered or whatever, it's a good way to get a hold of us. Oh, and also before I close, I have a shout out I want to do. There is one of our people that watches the show all the time. Her name is Abby Crichton, and she's been in the hospital here recently, and she's out and she's doing well now. But I wanted to give her a shout out and tell her I hope you get well soon and get everything else back on track. And if you need anything, let us know.
Nice.
So other than that, I'll see you guys in 7 days. Much love to everyone. And go ahead, Aaron. Say your last words.
Like I said, we're about to go through some tough times. Expect this to last at least 3 years. Now, if the majority of countries cave in and come to the negotiating table, they'll drop the tariffs. But if they don't, things is going to get expensive. Money is finite. It's not endless. So got to stretch that dime. Hold on to your dollars. You're not going to be making it rain at the stripper place. You got to hold on to as much as you can and hold on to your assets. Don't go out and be buying big expensive cars and stuff at this time or big motor homes or something like that. Stay away from the high expenses. Live within your means. That's very important. Do not be spending more than what you're taking in. So I'm going to finalize it by saying we prepare for tomorrow. Well, we learn from our past so we can be better prepared for tomorrow. And I'll stop there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank everybody in the chat enough for your engagement, your support, your, hitting that like button, like AB said, man. I can't thank both of you two on the panel as always, man. You guys bring the heat as always. And listen, if you guys are on my side, on the chat side, we're going to be rating our buddy Chris Lestrange, so stick around for that. But until next Wednesday, man, much love, honor, respect to everybody, and God bless to everyone. Hopefully we'll see you guys very soon. Peace out, everybody.